Hello, today I'll be talking about Snorlax, the heaviest Pokemon in Gen 1. Its previous PYC dates are July 18th, 1996, May 9th, 1999, February 27th, 2002, December 18th, 2004, October 9th, 2007, July 30th, 2010, May 20th, 2013, March 10th, 2016, December 30th, 2018, and October 20th, 2021. I like Snorlax because they're so friendly and they remind me of Totoro. Gigantamax Snorlax's official art reminds me of Torterra. Anyway, let's get in the Bulbapedia article. Hello and welcome to the Bulbapedia section of the video. Today we're talking about Snorlax, the sleeping Pokemon, whose number is 0143. This is Snorlax, this is what it looks like. This is Gigantamax Snorlax, this is what it looks like. Type, normal. Abilities, immunity or thick fat. Gluttony is its hidden ability. Gender ratio is 87.5% male and 12.5% female. Catch rate is 25 or 7.7%. Breeding is egg group monster. Hatch time 40 cycles. As Snorlax, it's 6'11", or 2.1 meters, 1,014.1 pounds, or 460 kilograms. As Gigantamax Snorlax, it's 114 feet and 10 inches, plus, or 35 meters plus, and its weight is unknown. Base experience yield is 154 in the first 4 gens and 189 in 5 plus. Leveling rate is slow. EV yield is 2 in HP. Shape is that. Footprint is that. Pokedex color is black, which is no. Just no. That's not true. What? It probably hasn't been black since, like, Gen 1. Like, there's some that make it look more black than this sort of greenish color, this green-blue color, and sometimes it looks more blue, but, like, the black colors are the outlines, its mouth and its eyes, maybe the pad in some games. Like, it is not black. Like, I don't know what they were thinking. They could have called it blue. Blue or green would have been so much closer. I don't get it. Anyway, base friendship is 70. Snorlax is a normal-type Pokemon introduced in Gen 1. It evolves from Munchlax when leveled up with high friendship. Snorlax can Gigantamax into Gigantamax Snorlax if it has the Gigantamax factor. In Generations 1 and 2 games, their remakes and Pokemon X and Y, while Snorlax can be found sleeping in inconvenient locations. In order to catch one, a trainer must first awaken it with music from either a Poké-Flute or the Poké-Gear set to the Poké-Flute channel. Snorlax is the game mascot of Pokemon Sleep. Biology: Snorlax is a huge, bipedal, dark blue-green mammalian Pokemon with a cream-colored face, belly, and feet. Its body is composed of mostly its belly, as its limbs are comparatively small. Its head is large with small pointed ears and 2 pointed teeth protruding from its lower jaw. It has rounded feet, which both have 3 claws and a circular brown paw pad, and short arms with 5 claws on each hand. Snorlax's bulk makes it the heaviest normal type. Snorlax is often found in mountains and forests. It wakes up only to eat, requiring 900 pounds, 400 kilograms of food per day, before returning to its slumber, although it can also eat while it is resting. It is not a picky eater, as its strong stomach allows it to eat even moldy food without feeling any ill effects. It can even handle thorny plants or muck's poison. Snorlax is docile enough to let children and small Pokemon bounce on its large stomach. Despite its apparent laziness, however, Snorlax can exhibit tremendous power when prompted. Snorlax is known to appear without warning in villages and steal their food supplies, such as rice granaries, which has long been considered a disaster whenever it happens. Professor Neroli does research on Snorlax, particularly on their ability to attract Pokemon around them to sleep. A lot of Pokemon tend to gather around Snorlax to sleep near it or on it. Aww. Snorlax is the only known Pokemon capable of using the Z-move, Pulverizing Pancake. Forms: Snorlax has a Gigantamax form. As Gigantamax Snorlax, seeds and small pebbles that were tangled in its belly go through immense growth, causing patches of grass, bushes, rocks, and a large tree to sprout upon its belly. The tree has 3 red clouds circling it. The berries that grow on Gigantamax Snorlax's tree include a citrus berry, a
Magost Berry, and a Havenberry. Gigantamax Snorlax almost never moves, even when in battle. It only slightly lifts its body and attacks by flailing its arms and legs. However, its attacks are very powerful. Gigantamax Snorlax is considered to be one of the strongest Dynamax Pokémon to have been discovered. See Gigantamax Snorlax attacking. Gigantamax Snorlax is the only known Pokémon capable of using the G-Max move G-Max Replenish. So you can see Gigantamax Snorlax here. Evolution, Snorlax evolves from Munchlax. So you got Munchlax, Snorlax. Game data and PC appearances, Pokemon Ranger. Snorlax will be seen sleeping throughout the game, effectively cutting off certain areas until later on. It will eventually remain in a cave in the Sekra range. Once the rest of the Ranger browser has been completed, it will wake up and can be captured. Pokedex entries in Gen 1. In Red and Blue, very lazy. Just eats and sleeps. As its rotund bulk builds, it becomes steadily more slothful. Yellow will eat anything, even if the food happens to be a little moldy. It never gets an upset stomach. Stadium, a lazy Pokemon that gets continually fatter by sticking to a cycle of eating and sleeping. Awake only when it eats. In Gen 2 and Gold, what sounds like its cry may actually be its snores or the rumblings of its hungry belly. Silver, its stomach's digestive juices can dissolve any kind of poison. It can even eat things off the ground. Crystal, this Pokemon's stomach is so strong, even eating moldy or rotten food will not affect it. For Stadium 2, if you have Pokemon Red, Silver, or Crystal inserted, you get the Gold entry. But if you have Pokemon Blue, Gold, or Yellow inserted, you get the Silver entry. In Gen 3 and Ruby and Sapphire, Snorlax's typical day consists of nothing more than eating and sleeping. It is such a docile Pokemon that there are children who use its expansive belly as a place to play. Emerald, Snorlax's typical day consists of nothing more than eating and sleeping. It is such a docile Pokemon that there are children who use its big belly as a place to play. Fire Red, it is not satisfied unless it eats over 880 or 400 kilograms of food every day. When it is done eating, it goes promptly to sleep. Leaf Green is Red and Blues again. In Gen 4 and Diamond, its stomach can digest any kind of food, even if it happens to be moldy or rotten. Pearl, it stops eating only to sleep. It doesn't feel full unless it eats nearly 900 pounds a day. Platinum, when its belly is full, it becomes too lethargic to even lift a finger, so it is safe to bounce on its belly. Heart Gold and Soul Silver, their Gold and Silver counterparts. The Gen 5 Pokedex entries are Platinum's entry. In Gen 6, X is Fire Red's entry. Y is Diamond's entry. Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire are basically Ruby and Sapphires, except Snorlax and Pokemon are now the correct casing. In Gen 7 and Sun, its stomach is said to be incomparably strong. Even Muck's poison is nothing more than a hint of spice on Snorlax's tongue. Moon, it eats nearly 900 pounds of food every day. It starts nodding off while eating, and continues to eat even while it's asleep. Ultrasun, it doesn't do anything other than eat and sleep. When prompted to make a serious effort, though, it apparently displays awesome power. Ultramoon, it has no interest in anything other than eating. Even if you climb up on its stomach while it's napping, it doesn't seem to mind at all. The Let's Go games are Yellow's entry. In Gen 8, for regular Snorlax, Sword is Fire Red and X's entry. Shield is Crystal's entry. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are their Diamond and Pearl counterparts. Legends Arceus, this glutton appears in villages without warning and devours the entirety of their rice granaries. Such occurrences have long been counted among the gravest of disasters. For Gigantamax Snorlax in Sword, Gigantamax energy has affected stray seeds and even pebbles that got stuck to Snorlax, making them grow to a huge size. Shield, terrifyingly strong, this Pokemon is the size of a mountain and moves about as much as one as well. In Gen 9 and Scarlet, this gluttonous Pokemon eats constantly, apart from when it's asleep. It devours nearly 900 pounds of food per day. Violet, its stomach's digestive juices can dissolve any kind of poison. Eating things off the ground doesn't bother it at all. So you got Snorlax in the Alola Pokedex, Snorlax in the Kitakami Pokedex, of course blocking the path of a Pikachu, Lucario, and a Poliwrath here. That's fun. It's interesting how they represent the fur and stuff. That's fun. Game locations, side game locations, and events. Held items, Pokemon caught in Gen 1 must be traded to a Gen 2 game in order for a held item to appear. In Pokemon Emerald, Snorlax can only be found in the Battle Frontier. In Red, Blue, Yellow, Gold, Silver, and Crystal, you get leftovers 100% of the time. In Fire Red and Leaf Green, you get Chesto Berry 100% of the time. In Emerald, Pokemon XD, Gale of Darkness, Heart Gold, and Soul Silver, you get leftovers 100% of the time. In Black 2 and White 2, you get a rare candy as an in-game trade 100% of the time. In X and Y, you get a Citrus Berry 100% of the time. In Sun, Moon, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, Sword, and Shield, you get leftovers 100% of the time. In Legends Arceus, for normal, you get a Citrus Berry 25% of the time. Spoiled Apricorn 15% of the time, and grid items by level. For Alpha, you get an EXP Candy M 100% of the time, Seed of Mastery 20% of the time, and grid items by level. Still don't know how the math works. Stats, base stats, HP 160, attack 110, defense 65, special attack 65, special defense 110, speed 30 for a total of 540. This Pokemon's special base stat in Gen 1 was 65. Pokeathon stats. Type effectiveness, damage normally by normal, flying, poison, ground, rock, bug, steel, fire, water, grass, electric, psychic, ice, dragon, dark, and fairy. Weak to fighting for double, immune to ghost, and resistant to nothing. Notes, if this Pokemon is given a ring target, the effectiveness of ghost-type moves is 1, so we'll go from 0 to 1. If this Pokemon has thick fat, the effectiveness of fire-type moves is half, and the effectiveness of ice-type moves is half. So fire and ice would be half instead of 1. Learn set by leveling up. Since hypothetically you can have one at level 2, we will move down to level 2. At level 12, you get Yawn, 16 Bite. Level 20, you get Snore, Sleep Talk, and Rest. 24 Crunch, 28 Body Slam, 32 Heavy Slam, 36 Amnesia, 40 High Horsepower, 44 Hammer Arm, 48 Belly Drum, 52 Belch, and 56 Giga Impact. By TM, for this section, what I'm going to do is I'll read it in this article, but I won't read it in the Munchlax article. So 1 Takedown, 2 Charm, 5 Mud Slap, 7 Protect, 20 Trailblaze, 22 Chilling Water, 25 Facade, 28 Bulldoze, 34 Icy Wind, 36 Rock Tomb, 43 Fling, 47 Endure, 50 Rain Dance, 51 Sandstorm, 55 Dig, 58 Brick Break, 59 Zen Headbutt, 66 Body Slam, 67 Fire Punch, 68 Thunder Punch, 69 Ice Punch, 70 Sleep Talk, 71 Seed Bomb, 80 Metronome, 84 Stomping Tantrum, 85 Rest, 86 Rock Slide, 89 Body Press, 99 Iron Head, 102 Gunk Shot, 103 Substitute, 108 Crunch, 114 Shadow Ball, 117 Hyper Voice, 121 Heavy Slam, 122 Encore, 123 Surf, 125 Flamethrower, 126 Thunderbolt, 128 Amnesia, 130 Helping Hand, 135 Ice Beam, 141 Fire Blast, 143 Blizzard, 147 Wild Charge, 149 Earthquake, 152 Giga Impact, 156 Outrage, 158 Focus Blast, 163 Hyper Beam, 166 Thunder, 168 Solar Beam, 171 Terra Blast, 179 Smackdown, 186 High Horsepower, 189 Heat Crash, 191 Uproar, 192 Focus Punch, 204 Double Edge, 210 Supercell Slam, 224 Curse, and 225 Hard Press. So by breeding, same thing, we'll read it in this one, but not the Munchlax video. So Snorlax gives you Belch, this group gives you Counter, this group gives you Curse, this group gives you Double Edge, and the Mirror Herb gives you Fissure. Nothing by prior evolution, side game data, we got all this, yep. Pokemon Ranger in the browser entry. Snorlax is a massive and heavy Pokemon that is always sleeping. Got all this. Pokepark Wii, Pikachu's Adventure in the Pokepark pad entry. Snorlax is often found sleeping in the Pokepark. He guards a secret word for the Granite Zone. His favorite attraction is Rhyperior's Bumper Burn. Pokepark 2 Wonders Beyond. He is kind and powerful. He loves to eat, but he can control himself if there's something he's not supposed to eat. All this. Pokemon Go, Magikarp Jump, I guess. New Pokemon Snap in the Photodex entry. After eating roughly its own weight in food, Snorlax develops a truly king-size belly. It doesn't seem to mind if smaller Pokemon decide to use its belly as a bed. Costumes in Pokemon Go, cowboy hat and nightcap, very fitting of course. Form data, Gigantamax, so Snorlax with the Gigantamax factor, the Dynamax band, and Gigantamax Snorlax. Evolution data, so you got Munchlax, and you get level up with High Friendship, you get Snorlax, and this one's going to be bred, holding full incense. which is, I guess, from Generation 4 to 8 sprites here. So, yeah, as I guessed, you can obviously see how it's black here, but, like, it's gonna slowly get its colors. I guess in Gen 3 probably will have its full colors. See, the paw pads are originally pink. Got a bunch of pink highlights with the white. Yeah. See how it's sleepy and stuff. Still very big, yep. Gold, still sleepy, yeah. And the shiny is blue. Yeah, it's got that, yeah. And then I guess the body is sort of kind of an orange. This one's sort of yellow. It's interesting. That has brown paw pads and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, these all generally work. In Gen 3, no, we're still, well, we have sort of a blackish blue color, I guess, with a yellow body and orange spots here. This is a blue, kind of almost, okay, so the blue, yep. Then we got fire red and leaf green. That introduces sort of that green color. Makes the spots a little bit smaller. That's interesting. Yeah, they're now brown, yep. This brings sort of the bluish, that kind of bluish color in Gen 4. Then we got like pure blue. This is sort of, natural kind of cream color, I guess. This is a yellow. Gen 5, it's kind of a darker, slightly darker color, I think, but otherwise pretty much the same. It's, it's gotten up, of course, that's kind of fun. It's sitting up now. Get to see a full back sprite. Now it's standing in the models, and this is a proper kind of cream color, and this is a different kind of color. And it's sort of that green blue we have now. Yeah, not much changes. The models might change a little bit, but not too much. It's, of course, better models in the Let's Go games. Swords and shields. See the shiny, it's just a dark blue. Kind of that yellowish color. Okay. Then, so yeah, the Gigantamax version. See all that and see how they're, not so different between their natural colors it is. Oh, the tree is different. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, all the trees are different, and so are the bushes. Huh. Yeah, they're green and like this pink, but on here they're orange and kind of a red color. That's cool. Legends Arceus, so you got this, not really much gonna change. I'm sure it's a better model. Homes here, you got all that, yeah. Okay. In the anime, Snorlax from Pokemon the series. Ash's Snorlax, I guess, would be the big one, maybe. I don't know. Yep. Gigantamax Snorlax in Pokemon the series. That's pretty cool. All this. Yep. Okay. For the Pokedex entries, I've recorded these first two for the anime section. So let Dexter read it.
Snorlax, a sleeping Pokemon. Snorlax wakes only to eat. Snorlax is the heaviest species of all known Pokemon, with some weighing more than 1,000 pounds.
In episode 41, about Snorlax's diet and Ash's Pokedex, Snorlax's hunger isn't satisfied until it consumes 900 pounds of food. Then it goes back to sleep. In episode 94, about Snorlax and Ash's Pokedex, Snorlax, the sleeping Pokemon. Snorlax isn't satisfied unless it eats at least 900 pounds of food per day. Once it is full, it promptly goes to sleep. In Advanced Generations, episode 88, in May's Pokedex, Snorlax, the sleeping Pokemon. Snorlax isn't satisfied unless it's eaten about 900 pounds of food each day, after which it promptly goes to sleep. In Diamond and Pearl, episode 76, in Dawn's Pokedex, Snorlax, the sleeping Pokemon, in the evolved form of Munchlax. It can eat 400 pounds of food before feeling full. Oh, this is a dub error. This would be more accurate if it were 400 kilograms, which is roughly 900 pounds. Oh, interesting. Diamond and Pearl, episode 160, in the same Pokedex. Snorlax, the sleeping Pokemon. Snorlax becomes much too lazy to lift even a finger when it has a full belly, which then makes it safe to bounce upon. In X and Y, Episode 18 is Serena's Pokedex. Snorlax, the sleeping Pokemon. After eating its fill, Snorlax is too sleepy to move. Small children sometimes play on its belly. In what I assume is Journeys, Episode 5, and Go's Rotom Phone. Snorlax, the sleeping Pokemon. A normal type. Snorlax eats over 800 pounds of food every day. As it begins to eat, it falls asleep, and it sleeps while it eats. Its average height is a bit less than 7 feet. 800 pounds is 360 kilograms. Pokemon Origins, Snorlax and Pokemon Origins. You got all these. Yep. Oh yeah, Snorlax and Cubone and the Adventures of Snorlax and Cubone. Remember that from the Cubone video. It's so silly. In the manga, Snorlax and Snorlax's Dream Gourmet, I guess. Snorlax in the Electric Tail of Pikachu. Snorlax in Pokemon Adventures. Gigantamax Snorlax in Pokemon Adventures. Okay, got all this. Yep, in the TCG. Other appearances, Super Smash Bros. When released from a Pokeball, Snorlax will ascend into the air before descending over a large area of the screen, with a body slam that sends any opponent underneath flying. Super Smash Bros. Melee, Snorlax does the same maneuver as it did in the previous game, but covers a smaller area. Snorlax is also a Pokefloat. It is lying down asleep, and so fighting occurs on its head and belly. The Melee trophy information, Snorlax love to sleep and love to eat. These portly Pokemon get grumpy if they don't get 888 pounds of food per day. After snacking out, they always nap. They have cast iron stomachs and can eat moldy and even rotten food with no digestion problems. They are the heaviest Pokemon on record, weighing in at over 1,000 pounds. That is no longer true. Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Snorlax once again performed the same maneuver as the previous games. So you can see Snorlax in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, throwing off looks like Yoshi, Samus, and Link. Brawl trophy information. A sleeping Pokemon. It's the ultimate loafer. Sometimes children like to play on top of its belly. Once in a slumber, not even the hardest rain or the fiercest wind will wake it. Snorlax recovers health and restores its physical state by sleeping, and it proves daunting with its damaging snore attack. Snorlax is the king of sleeping Pokemon. In Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS/Wii U, Snorlax reappears as a Pokeball summon in these games, behaving the same way as before. Snorlax also appears as a trophy in both versions of the game. So you can see Snorlax in Super Smash Bros. 3DS doing its thing with a Wii Fit Trainer female, I think. Get the Snorlax trophy in Super Smash Bros. For 3DS. Trophy information in North America. The sleepy normal type Pokemon is huge. It eats more than 800 pounds of food every day. Most of the time not spent eating is spent sleeping. That big round body comes in handy when it's brought onto a Smash Bros. Battlefield. The body slam attack will send anyone who gets hit flying into the air. For the PAL region, Snorlax is often referred to as the sleeping Pokemon, and there's a good reason for that. This giant loafer spends almost all its time snoozing, getting up for just long enough each day to scoff up a tidy 400 kilograms of food. In this game, it soars into the air and uses its body slam attack, smacking into fighters like a giant wrecking ball. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Snorlax reappears as a Pokeball summon, retaining its behavior from past games. It also appears as a spirit. In the spirit battle, Snorlax, who is depicted as a giant gray King K. Rool, is immobile but has 500 HP and slowly regains HP. The player fails if they cannot KO Snorlax before the time runs out. Pokemon Detective Pikachu, we'll talk about that one later. Pokemon Unite, Snorlax is playable through obtaining a Unite license. It is a melee defender. The Snorlax of Pokemon Unite, this is particularly interesting since it doesn't start off as a Munchlax like many others start off as their base one. That's interesting. Celestial, Snorlax appeared in the music video for Celestial. So you can see that here, Snorlax in the music video for Celestial. Trivia, in several 3D games, such as in the Core series and Pokemon Stadium series, Snorlax open their eyes when they faint. In Pokemon Snap, Snorlax stands up and dances to the music when the Pokeflute is used. Aww. In Heart Gold, Soul Silver, the player interacts with a Snorlax that is walking with them, while at Mount Silver, the message, Snorlax is feeling very eager, will appear. This is due to Red, who is also at Mount Silver, owning a Snorlax as well. While the player is on Mount Silver, unique messages will also appear if the player interacts with a walking Pikachu or Charizard. In Pokemon Gold and Silver, Snorlax is programmed to be able to learn Charm through breeding, but no other Pokemon in the monster group can legitimately learn it to pass down as an egg move in those games. In Gen 3 on, Snorlax can inherit the move from Bulbasaur by chain breeding. Snorlax's evolutionary line is the only one to have all of its members appear from a Pokeball within a single Super Smash Bros. Game. In Pokemon Gold and Silver, Snorlax is the only Pokemon to receive a plus 40 catch rate modifier when a heavy ball is used. This subpoint we read in the Kadabra video. Snorlax is the only black Pokemon introduced in Gen 1. So I'm assuming they are referring to the colors, yeah. Even though it's not black. I've already read this point in the Gengar video. Snorlax is the subject of a campaign known as Project Snorlax, which was launched by the Pokemon Company on March 17th, 2023. Snorlax's English name was suggested by Bill Geist, who assisted in the naming of many Gen 1 Pokemon. Concept and development, Snorlax was designed by Ken Sugimori. Origin, Snorlax's appearance and behavior of constantly eating and sleeping were directly inspired by Game Freak planner Koji Nishino. Additionally, Snorlax may be loosely based on hibernating bears or teddy bears. It may also be based on a food coma, as it eats large quantities of food then takes a nap, both of which are symptomatic of the condition. Snorlax's Gigantamax form resembles a small hill. Name origin, Snorlax is a combination of snore and lax or lackadaisical. It was reportedly derived from Esquilax, the name of a non-existent medieval creature described in The Simpsons episode Lisa's Wedding. Snorlax may also involve relax. Cabigon is derived from Kirby, the eponymous main character of Nintendo's Kirby video game series. In an interview with Game Informer, Junichi Masuda stated that Koji Nishino, the main inspiration for Snorlax, used to be called Kirby during the development of Pokemon Red and Green because of his large appetite. Cabigon may also involve Cabi, mold, noting the fact that Snorlax will eat anything, even moldy food. That is so cool! I had no idea! In other languages, related articles, references, external links to the Gigantamax forms, Super Smash Bros. As well, yep. Okay, let's move on.
Now let's watch Snorlax's first scene in the anime.
Hello and welcome to the anime portion of the video. Today we are watching episode 41, quite fittingly, Wake Up Snorlax. In this episode, while traveling, Ash, the main character, and his traveling companions, Brock and Misty, as well as his faithful Pokemon Pikachu, have come across a village that is lacking in food, produce, lacking in vegetables and wheat for bread and stuff like that. And so Ash and his friends have agreed to find the source of the blocking of a river that was causing this drought, and now we see our Snorlax, who is very likely the cause. Bob Vance.
It's huge! It's a Snorlax!
And that's, Jesse and James, the Team Rocket, and that would be the end of Snorlax's first scene in the anime. Let's move on.
Now let's watch Snorlax's scenes in Detective Pikachu.
Hello and welcome to the Detective Pikachu portion of the video, as I like to call it, Detective Snorlax, as it's only the frames with Snorlax to the best of my ability. So, Snorlax appears a few ways in this film, in physical appearance, as well as this poster here, the sign or whatever. And another sign we'll see later, and a piece of artwork. But right now in the film, Tim Goodman, the main character, is watching a video and introducing him to Rhyme City, a city where humans and Pokemon coexist. He's coming to Rhyme City as he just learned that his father died in a car crash, and his father lives in Rhyme City. Right now the video is explaining that an early partnership between humans and Pokemon evolved into Pokemon battles.
This relationship...
Yep, okay, so now we've cut to a little bit later. Tim has entered. This is Tim. He's entered the city. This is kind of sort of establishing shots showing how humans and Pokemon are coexisting, so we can see the Snorlax here. It looks a bit weird with the fur. Like, I don't know, it's first of all, it's more blue than the green that I'm more used to, the sort of green-blue that I'm more used to, and also, it just, I don't know, seems pretty small. Like, I know it's not, like, a terribly tall Pokemon, but, I don't know, it just seems pretty small to me. And also, I don't know, I'm not I mean, it's better than the Jigglypuff hair, but, like, I don't know. I feel like this fur should be a lot more matte than it is, but... And we get it again in another sort of establishing shot. And we also have it in the sign here. Yep, okay, and this is one of my favorites, because... Let me see if I can pause it correctly. So yeah, you can see it here. It's in this, like, play zone sign, and it's a Snorlax and a Munchlax, which I think is very cute. Now we're cutting... Okay, that was a little bit later. Let's see if I can... Okay, I can't pause it there. So, what that was Tim going to his dad's apartment to sort of clean up there. So there was a Snorlax in, like, the corner here. So now we've cut to a little bit later in the film. Tim has met Detective Pikachu, Talking Pikachu, and he's gone on a little adventure with some Apom. Now he's come to the sort of night market through an alleyway, and he's trying to warn people about crazy Apom as they sucked in something called the R gas, which makes Pokemon go crazy. But now they're back to normal, so they won't believe him, and there's the Snorlax way back there.
Look out! Run! No one else.
And so, yeah, so now he's talking about how, you know, can no one else hear him talk, which they can't. And the Snorlax is back there. It's kind of hard to see, but it's there.
Hear him? Can you hear him talking? You can hear him saying...
Okay. Now we've cut to a little bit later in the film. Tim and Detective Pikachu have decided to take a vial of R gas that they found and bring it to a reporter Tim met earlier, Lucy Stevens. And so right now they're showing a shot of like the CNN building, the news building, where Howard Clifford, the founder of Rhyme City, and his son, Roger Clifford, which you'll hear in just a second, who also owns the news, are doing a promo for the 10th anniversary Rhyme City Parade. You can see the Snorlax sign here.
Hello, I'm
That's
Roger
Roger.
Clifford, president of CNN.
Okay, yeah.
Please.
Okay, so now we've cut to a little bit later. The whole thing with them was that he'd initially believed that Harry Goodman was dead, so he convinced Tim to help try to find him, but then they've recently just watched the footage where they've shown the car crash, and now they believe Harry to be dead. But they've been summoned by Howard Clifford, that's who you just heard. The Snorlax is in this art. So what that was it's a hologram car. It's turning into the hologram environment that he's about to do because Howard is in a wheelchair and he's used his wealth to give him technology to view the outside world. And now this is the car crash that he's simulating. You kind of see it, I don't know.
Howard!
Some could argue that maybe I shouldn't have counted this because you can't really see Snorlax, but because it would be technically there, I counted it. Yeah.
Howard!
Okay, so now we've cut to much later in the film. Howard told Tim and Detective Pikachu that Harry was in fact not dead, but his soul was taken by Mewtwo, so what they needed to do was find Mewtwo, so they found Mewtwo, who they believe to be Roger, captured Mewtwo, and so now he's telling Howard about it, and there's the Snorlax again.
Mr. Clifford, your son...
So now it's been revealed that it was actually Howard that captured Mewtwo. Snorlax in the background. And that's Mewtwo. It has something called the Neuralink, which Howard will use to put his mind inside of Mewtwo here in a second. And this is the Argas and all, yeah. Yep. Yeah, that was Howard talking. He's talking about how the transfer worked. So now we're at the start of the parade. You can see a Snorlax here. Yep. And there's also a Snorlax balloon, or float as well.
So as you
That's the mayor talking, giving an interview.
can see, we are more than happy with the turnout today.
Okay, so now this is Lucy Stevens. She knows about the Roger capturing thing. She's going to try to talk to the mayor to help resolve this because, you know, she doesn't want her boss, she doesn't want her boss to know that she knows that he captured Mewtwo. There's Snorlax in the background. Okay, so now we've cut to... So, Lucy was rejected, by the way. But now we've cut to a little bit later. Howard is revealing his plan. So you can see... Yeah. And you can see the Snorlax down there, and there's probably Snorlax around here as well. Yeah, you can barely see the Snorlax, but yeah. Yeah. So now he's releasing the gas. So his whole thing is that he wants the ultimate partnership between humans and Pokemon, and he believes that to do that, he's gonna put the people's soul inside of their Pokemon. To do this, he's releasing the R gas onto the Pokemon to make them go crazy, which he can then use Mewtwo's powers to merge humans and Pokemon. Yep. Trying to warn people. See how he's flying up. So that's Detective Pikachu. So earlier in the film, Mewtwo showed Tim and Detective Pikachu a vision that made it seem like Detective Pikachu, who has amnesia, betrayed Harry, but he found something at the scene of the crash, was gonna come to Rhyme City to tell Tim, but he's seeing this scene happen, and so now he's gonna go try to stop Mewtwo. That's Psyduck, that's Lucy's Psyduck. Lucy's inside the soul of her Psyduck. She was telling him that Mewtwo was Howard and stuff, yeah. So that was flying, so yeah, he blew up a Gengar balloon to go flying to try to get closer to, I think, Mewtwo Howard, and now Howard is noticed, so he's flying towards, Pikachu. The way of the future! I am the future! So yeah, that's them attacking, and so that was, Detective Pikachu. He saw a flock of Pidgeots and decided to jump on one. So now we've got to a little bit later. Tim found Roger captured in the closet, like duct taped, mouth and stuff. And so now he's seeing this other Roger and he's confused, and then now we'll have the reveal that it's a Ditto. Well, it's Miss Norman for Ditto! Yeah. To try to blow him away. Miss Norman was, you saw her earlier, she was Howard's assistant.
Pull up, don't breathe the gas!
So that's, yeah, him telling not to read the gas, and then, so here, Ditto transforms into a Machamp, and hit Tim to the ledge here, and so we're kind of showing, like, the peril that he's in. Yes. So now we've cut to a little bit later, the plot's been undone. Tim has unlinked the Neuralink from Howard, but at the time, Howard/Mewtwo was holding Pikachu, and in sort of Mewtwo's delirium after being released from Howard's control, he dropped Pikachu, but now he's saving him with his psychic powers. And the sign, it's kind of hard to tell, but it's back there. Yeah, right there. So now, yeah, Mewtwo proper has agreed to help, and the sign is kind of hard to tell, but it's right here. You can see kind of the back of it. Yeah. Yep, and so now there's the balloon, so now he's gonna pop the balloons, the floats, yeah, and releasing people from their Pokemon. There's Snorlax proper. Yep. So now we're at the kind of the end here. He's celebrating and stuff, and Lucy's gone off with her Psyduck, and there's a Snorlax here. Yes. It's turning to Detective Pikachu, and now Mewtwo's appeared. There's the sign.
The father you have been looking for has been with you all along.
So what he was revealing was that his soul, this is Harry, his soul was put inside of Detective Pikachu, and now he separated them, and now Tim is about to leave Rhyme City to go back to his hometown, and there's a Snorlax in the background here. We'll see it a little bit as the scene goes on.
Rams will meet you when you arrive.
This is a kind of a complicated one. There probably is a couple frames where people are covering up Snorlax, where it's kind of difficult because it is such a big Pokemon. So, yeah. And he mentioned how, like, Grandma's gonna see him off, and he's referring, yeah, so he, I guess, lived in the same town as his grandmother. Yeah.
See you. Hey, Dad? You think I can stay with you for a while?
Deciding to stay.
Me too.
Yeah, and he's agreed, yeah. Yep. And they go on their way.
You want to get a coffee?
Yeah, that's it. So, hope you enjoyed. Let's move on.
Now let's see why people love Snorlax. Now let's look at fan art.
Hello and welcome to the fan art section of the video. Nobody sent in fan art, so instead we're looking at DeviantArt fan art. For those of you not familiar with the series, what we do is we go through these images until we find an image that doesn't contain a Snorlax. So this is Snorlax is Sleeping by Willow Sands. So we got Snorlax here and a trainer and a Pikachu. That's fun. Yeah, we're sleeping in this interesting art for the street lamps here. And we got Pokemon Variation number 3 by Primus Rex. It's got standard Snorlax and boxers, pajamas, onesie, nightgown, and birthday suit. That's fun. Apparently they have a Tumblr. Then we got number 143, Snorlax by Imaginator Victor. So number 143 Snorlax, sleeping Pokemon. Vic Zavala art, I guess. That's from November 22nd, 2014. So we got this more realistic Snorlax here, I guess. A lot more furry, a lot more bear-like. Yeah. Yep, that's nice. Then we got Snorlax by Andre Work. So, got this cool Snorlax image, very fluffy. In this grassy nighttime forest, I guess. Very good use of colors.
Then we've got Snoozelax
By False Delusion. So we've got this sleeping Snorlax and a couple sleeping Munchlax. That's very cute. Yeah, I like it. Then we've got Snorlax Body Slam by Fishhead. Yep, so this fun, semi-stylized Snorlax here. It's doing Body Slam. That's very fun. Then we got Untitled by Rye That Guy. So we got this Snorlax looking kind of like Totoro. And then we got all the starters of the Gen 1 games. So Squirtle, Bulbasaur, Pikachu, and Charmander. That's fun. I don't know why this one's playing in the water. It really shouldn't be. That's very dangerous. Snorlax by Weaponix. It's Snorlax, sleeping Pokemon. Number 143. Type is normal. Height is 2.1 meters. Weight 460 kilograms. This fun looking info card thing here. That's fun. Then we got Tabby on the giant Snorlax cushion by Anik MJ. So, I don't know if this is an original character or it's supposed to be someone from something. I don't know. But it's on this Snorlax cushion. That's fun. It's a sweet dream. And then we got Snorlax on a Cloud by Sailor Chef. So this very simplified Snorlax here. It's got this sort of darker fur like it had in the first couple generations. Yeah, sleeping on a cloud. That's very simple, very easy, very nice. And then we got Pokemon Nap Time by Klur. So this Snorlax sleeping in this field of flowers in this forest. We got a Bulbasaur and a Pikachu sleeping as well. Very nice use of colors and lighting and stuff. Then we've got Snorlax Sumo by Akagi Sensei. So this sumo wrestling Snorlax here, very fun, very stylish. I got the Poke Flute in the hair, that's fun. And we've got Makohita and Hariyama in the background, as well as a looks like a Poliwag. That's fun. Totoro and Snorlax by Zhao Xin. It's this fun thing where it's Snorlax here with the Totoro, because they're often compared to each other. I think I may have said that earlier, how I think they look, it reminds me a lot of Totoro. Like you can see, these guys and little baby Totoros and the little creatures there. And on the side, you got a Fletchling and a Rowlet. It's fun. Then I got Snorlax by Shang Da Flash Pro. This fun, sleepy CGI Snorlax. That's kind of fun. Yeah, a nice pink background. That's Nice. Then I got Snorlax by Danny, my brother. This sort of simplified Snorlax. That's kind of fun. Then Snorlax by Capri Art. This fun image of it. Looks like it's ready to swim. Yeah, you got the tube there and the sunglasses. It's like it's going on vacation. It's very fun. We got Murray Revamped by Jas09N. This cute stylized Snorlax here. I'm assuming that Murray is their own character or something. Yep, very cute. I like the sweater and stuff. Then we got Tumblein Snorlax by Toxic Eye. So another cute, simple Snorlax here. Seem to be based on the original kind of sprites. Yep. And this is not a Snorlax, so we'll move on.
Thanks to everyone who submitted fan art. I won't be streaming tonight, so you need to wait until I talk about Snore. Oh, wait, I guess I will be streaming tonight. More specifically, I'll be streaming at 5 p.m. CMT Central Mountain Time. I have a lot to stream tonight, and it'll probably take me multiple days to do. I'm obtaining every Pokemon from Venonat to Snorlax, except for Alakazam, Golem, and Gengar, and Vulpix and Ninetales. As for Gigantamax Snorlax, I'll have to wait until I've talked about the Gen 8 Pokemon to get back to that one. Tomorrow I'll be talking about Articuno. As always, this is my proper outfit, and you'll see me tomorrow.